Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every Monday at 6 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm Ashley Hobley. Joining me today on the couch, Ciaran Marchant.
Once again, as I like to do when it's a two-person show, I like to mention that we can, spread out on the couch a little bit, get a bit more room, not fight over anything, or Dylan isn't there taking up or hogging anything. But no, it is a great week.
Not taking up all the room on the couch with all these weird peripherals and accessories.
Exactly. You know what? Not gonna lie, right? My God, the amount of it's being picked up now. People on Twitter are indulging Dylan with peripherals everywhere, and I'm not having it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it everywhere.
I mean,
you people, you just
shout out to a good friend Jamie, for pointing out that Hot Wheels Mario Kart set that's coming out. That looks pretty cool.
Look, it looked cool, but at the same time, I'm like, actually, no, I'll give it to Jamie. I reckon Jamie would Jamie's probably one of the only people. I think he's a better person than Dylan when it comes to these peripherals, where Jamie would actually find use for them or set them up really nicely and have them stored somewhere. Other than Dylan, who'd unpack it once, pack it back up, and then store it away in a cupboard for the rest of its lifetime.
Probably.
But no, I'm not appreciative of that at all, people.
No, but what are you going to do? On today's episode of Arcade Couch, Nintendo's Indie Showcase delivers quickly, Halo gets raided, and we got some big Sonic the Hedgehog news. But we have to kick things off with some pretty sad news, or angry news, or happy news, or excited news. I can't tell you what your feelings are going to be, but PAX Australia 2021 has officially been cancelled due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on Australia. In a post on social media, PAX Australia said, "It's with a heavy heart that today we announced the postponement of PAX Oz 2021. At the start of the year, we were optimistic that we'd be able to come together in person this October. We've been working hard with our partners and exhibitors to deliver the best possible version of PAX Australia 2021, but due to the ongoing impact of COVID-19 in Australia, the next edition of PAX Oz will now take place in 2022. Our thoughts are with our PAX community and everyone who helps us to deliver this incredible event each year. PAX Oz has always been to provide a safe space for our community to gather, share our passion for games, and create new memories with those who mattered most to us. The fact that we cannot do this in person at PAX Oz 21 has left us all heartbroken, but it's the right choice for our community, team, partners to postpone this year's show and look to the future. Much like last year, we will still be working to bring our community together this year via PAX Oz Online. Stay tuned to our social media channels over the coming days as we announce more info on that. For those who have purchased tickets to PAX Oz 21, we'd like to remind you that you're entitled to a full refund. You'll be receiving specific instructions within the next 7 days. The entire PAX Oz team would like to thank you for your ongoing support and understanding during this challenging time. While we can't all come together in person, we urge you to all to continue to stay in touch with us, community, and each other." I feel like the writing was on the wall for this. On the back of 4 or 5 lockdowns, it feels like, in Victoria in the last couple of months, and 0 lockdowns in New South Wales.
I saw somebody earlier use the term lockdown about New South Wales, and I was like, no, you guys are not properly locking down, you crazy kids. Just it's insane. Especially, look, isn't just New South Wales, except for guys. They just
some people in to be fair, some people in New South Wales have been locking down and being responsible, but in general,
yes, it's a large part. But I think it's every state pretty much at some point in the last 6 months have had some form of COVID issue to kind of promote an event or to hold an event right now that kind of promotes people from all over the country coming together to the one spot. Feels a bit, it's a bit irresponsible right now with the way things are going with COVID and the Delta variant. It is sad. I will say props to the PAX team. I got my refund today.
That's good.
Considering they initially said that it could be anywhere until 30th of September. Before people might get their refund.
See, that was my major worry, that they have to refund all this money.
Yeah.
I was very scared that people weren't going to get refunds, and that would have been a massive shitstorm.
Especially when it was initially cancelled and they were still not announcing how refunds were working yet. They were like, wait till later in the week to announce that, which I guess, it obviously gave them a couple more days to organize what they'd organize, as well as to give clear, concise information instead of maybe shooting the gun a little bit early, giving out wrong
It might just be
information
as simple as they needed to move the money around. It's like...
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and I think, it is sad that once again we're having another year without PAX, but I think it's for the best. I think we're all gonna love PAX the moment it comes back and the moment we can go. But I'm glad that the organizers can have the foresight and take responsibility enough to say, "Hey, no, we're not going to do this year," and go on to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it good call. What, a month and a half out?
And honestly, it's better off
2 months out. Sorry.
2 months out. It's better off that the organizers themselves have cancelled at this point, rather than
the government
getting a bit closer and then
nobody can fly in, nobody can fly out. 10,000 people stuck in Victoria. Oh, it's terrible.
Ooh, that'd be bad. But yeah, no, it is. We'll move on. We'll get closer to PAX Souls next year, hopefully. But yeah, it just gives more kind of more motivation for people to get vaccinated, look after themselves, and be responsible for other people when it comes to COVID and the pandemic as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a real bummer to find that out, even though, like I said, the writing had kind of been on the wall. I know we hadn't, booked any hotels or anything. It was we were very much 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I
think we took the responsible road. We got tickets, so we bought tickets. We weren't, I know there was a lot of people that were like, oh, maybe we should just wait to buy tickets. And with how quickly those tickets sold anyway, you're better off just buying them. And, with how committed they are to getting refunds and to give refunds out, I think, if it was another organization or another event, I might have been a bit more hesitant about buying a ticket in whenever it was April, May. But considering it's PAX and who they are and their reputation, I think it was pretty... You can be confident that no matter what was happening, you were going to be looked after as a quote-unquote customer or event goer. Yeah,
so 2 months, I'm sure, hopefully everybody can get refunds on all their travel and release credits and on their hotel bookings and that kind of stuff. And, I guess it's a bummer for all the local devs who are maybe hoping to showcase their games there, but a lot of other outlets have reached out saying if they want to showcase their stuff, they're willing to do it on their various sites and stuff.
And even there's still going to be PAX Online, which I'm sure many of the great and fantastic panels, including I was actually really looking forward to Pop Culturist Ryan Bettson's panel.
Yeah, surely that's got to be a thing now. Yeah.
That was... That's gotta be even if it's not directly at PAX, Ryan, I would love to hear it either way at some point, because it's had a really cool premise. So I hope we still get to see some of the great content that Australian creators would have given to us during PAX.
So PAX, hit us up. If you need someone to fill in the 3 till 6 a.m. slot, I don't know. That's the only. I assume that's the slot that nobody wants to go. We'll step in. We'll help you out.
I don't think they do 24 hours.
I feel like last year there was 24-hour streams because it coincided with one of the other PAXs.
Oh, like
PAX West or something. So they just did 24 hours, half Australian, half US. But I guess just get drunk by yourself or with friends that weekend in October, and then.
Don't get drunk by yourself, please don't. My God, Ashley Hobley.
By yourself, but online, on the game, on voice chat.
Talking to people, not just don't just sit at home by yourself getting absolutely sloshed,
No, I'm just going to stream me one cup of bourbon.
Drink responsibly, everyone.
All right.
Fuck's sake.
So Nintendo had another one of their Indie World showcases earlier this week. I didn't watch it. I don't think you did either, Ciaran. No. I didn't watch the actual showcase, the whole thing. But I saw all the announcements out of it, and there are...
That's better off. Okay, you have saved this segment because I'm like, wait, two people that haven't watched this are gonna now talk about it. Ooh.
But some pretty big announcements and a lot of Shadowdrops. Most notably of Australia's Necrobarista Final Pour Edition coming straight as on Switch now. Garden Story, which was seen in a bunch of different events or showcases, I feel, in the last 12 months. Out on Switch now. Boyfriend Dungeon, which I think we've heard about for like a couple of years now.
We've talked about it a while, and we talked about it a little bit either E3 last year or E3 this year.
Yeah, so that's out on Switch now, also on Steam and Xbox Game Pass. Axiom Verge 2 out now. What else was it? Tetra? No. Astrodin? No. Curious Expedition out now. And yeah, there are a couple other games that came out right now. Surprising how many Shadowdrops dropped in the one day. I feel especially the day before Hades is meant to drop on consoles. I feel like it was an interesting like 24 hours where gamers had like some big decisions to make. Was there anything that amongst that caught your eye?
I think it's a really good array. Like, I really loved, like, I never got around to playing Necrobarista. I tried it out at, coincidentally, PAX when it was there a couple years ago. But I think there is a really good range of, like, even just going through our article at ExplosionNetwork.com, I think there is a really nice variety of indies. I don't think there's anything that would pull me away from Hades personally on this list. But I think there is some really solid stuff. Nothing absolutely mind-blowing or kind of new, but I think this is what Nintendo's doing so well in recent memory, is these kind of regular communicative showcases to keep contact with the fans, to let people know, because there was very much a point where you don't even hear from Nintendo like once or twice a year, and nobody know what the hell was going on with them. So to see that there, to see them to continue doing this and like have showcases dedicated to indies, I think is absolutely fantastic. So I would very much suggest anybody who hasn't, like me, go through these and have a look, and give everything an open mind when you take a look at it, because there is, from what I've just looked through and what I've been looking through before we did the show, I think there's some great stuff there that everybody should be able to pick up and grab. Yeah,
obviously some great stuff and some cool announcements as well. Obviously, Gang Beasts, how has that not already come to the Switch? It seems like an amazing Switch game.
Gang Beasts was one of those weird.
That's one of the games you definitely want to play on a rooftop with 4 other people, like with little Joy-Cons, you know.
With little Joy-Cons. Yeah. You know what? I recently saw a TikTok of a bunch of people playing Smash Brothers in a storm, though. And like, while on a similar situation of being on a roof, and the cool thing that was happened there was like when they hit like an ultimate smash, like there was like a roar of thunder happen at the exact same moment. It was pretty cool. So, you know, play your Switches in thunderstorms, people. It's totally fine.
I probably wouldn't recommend it. I mean, the odds of you getting hit by lightning are not great, but the odds of your Switch getting wet and detonating pretty high, I would imagine, in a thunderstorm.
And detonating. That's not a bomb.
Okay, like shorting out. I was trying to make it more exciting.
Fucking hell.
I don't know what happens when a Switch touches water. I imagine it's not good, but another one that caught my eye out of this is Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. Obviously, Shovel Knight, huge, massive game of the last like 5 years, like one of the biggest indie games of the last decade at least.
Definitely.
It's a weird puzzle brick making game. I don't understand it, but I'm into it.
You could definitely take a shovel to it.
You could, it definitely, yeah. It definitely is an interesting use of that IP. I'd be interested in, because Shovel Knight 2 is in the works, right? From memory.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I'll be interested. I don't know if this is from the same team or anything, but yeah. It's pretty cool. We're getting more Shovel Knight. And then we got a date for Eastward, which was another game that we've talked about on a couple of other places, that we've all been super excited for. Very beautiful looking game. is coming at least to Nintendo Switch September 16th. So another game to put on your list of things to be excited for the rest of the year. Who cares if there's not another like PS5 exclusive for the rest of the year if you got games like this? Right? Alright. Moving on to our next story. Alright. Interesting story kind of coming out of Overwatch League.
Oh my god.
A couple of the casters have apparently over the weekend were avoiding saying the name McCree during a number of the matches. Instead of referring to McCree as the cowboy. For those who don't know, McCree was named after Jesse McCree, a real-life Blizzard developer who was part of the now infamous Cosby Suite that took place at BlizzCon 2013. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a fan pointed out that they'd been avoiding using McCree's name during the telecast, and the casters liked his tweet afterwards. Blizzard have come out and said, I confirm this is in no way a directive from the Overwatch League or Blizzard, but there has been kind of like a fan push in the day since to like maybe rename McCree. So as a massive fan of Overwatch, would you be on board with them?
I don't know if I can be said that anymore.
As a previously massive...
I've distanced myself from Overwatch and Blizzard very much the last couple of weeks, but no, I was really proud of both Bren and Sideshow who took this on themselves to start doing this. It was, from everything I've read online, it definitely wasn't anything from Blizzard, and a number of the other casters are now looking at taking this on board themselves. For anybody who doesn't know, Jesse McCree was a former lead level designer for Blizzard, and has since now been actually fired from his position, along with the Diablo 4 director and another game designer, which were all released fairly recently, in kind of league and in parallel to what's going on with the Blizzard lawsuit at the moment. I think stuff like this is a very big thing. Even though I'm not watching it anymore and not playing the game, I'm very worried about Overwatch 2. I'm very worried about the Overwatch League because there is rumors now going around with Overwatch League potentially taking a year off or taking a break, with all things considered right now with Blizzard. Even though the coordinator of the league has said no, that's not on the table yet. I could see it very likely happening, which will affect a lot of players and a lot of teams and kind of disrupt that esport, which I think the Overwatch League, the team behind it, does a fantastic job of bringing content, and the teams work really hard for it. I am very much on the bandwagon of Jesse McCree's name needs to be changed. I think that needs to be removed from the game. Not the character, I think just rename the character. But I very much think that is not something that they can allow. There's a very kind of different opinions, and I've seen people, no, don't leave it, it's a character now, it's nothing to do with that. I still think it would send enough of a message of Blizzard trying to remove themselves from that kind of thing for that thing to be done. Maybe not in Overwatch, but maybe in Overwatch 2. There is, alongside this stuff, there is rumors now that Overwatch 2 is even further delayed or looking to be kind of even further away than people had expected recently. It is a weird situation to be at Blizzard right now, or to be a fan of Blizzard, and I would recommend that people vote with not just your wallets or stand by your wallets, or but stand by what you're consuming in content. I think it's just a small message. I think this is the first time I have properly understood this with a creator, or and it's not the easiest thing when friends are currently saying to me, "Hey, do you want to play Overwatch with us? Do you want to play Overwatch with us?" And I'm saying no and kind of declining from that, because I think you need to kind of stand by what you believe in and stand by saying things like, that talking down to Blizzard and its culture right now. I think there's a long way to go to Blizzard to get back into a lot of people's hearts, and it's okay to take a step back from them and to allow time to try and work towards making it a better place.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting position where kind of everybody is, on this McCree thing. I think it'd be cool if they changed the name. I think just as a rule now, you should just avoid naming characters after people.
Don't name stuff after
People are just disappointed, but others like so much. It's like so difficult. You can either just call him Jesse, just continue calling him the cowboy, or
no, I don't even think calling him Jesse, because Jesse's the first name of the.
Oh, his actual name is just McCree.
Its whole name. Its whole name is.
Why
Jesse
would you do
McCree.
that?
It's not
double
just.
down.
It's not just. It's not just the surname. It's the whole name is the actual lead level designer's name. So
that rule,
or formerly,
it rules out my idea of like him getting married and taking his wife's name or something. That would be amusing. Just he decides he didn't like his name. Change it. You can come up with some weird backstory.
I think he could just like become like a vigilante and come up with a moniker.
Yeah,
like Desperado. Or
high noon. It's always high noon now.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. Like, obviously, Blizzard is still like putting news out and stuff. Like, obviously, they've got the Diablo 2 beta or something happening this week. But like, even reporting of stuff. Like, I know Press Start put out like a Facebook post saying that for some reason Diablo 3 was available if you get it on Xbox Game Pass. Or no, Xbox Live Games for Gold. Like, you could download it. People were very upset with them for like revealing that news. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird situation. It's also seen like some people have been saying that like boycott. There's a reason devs aren't asking for boycotts of the game and that kind of stuff, because really it doesn't affect them very much. It barely touches any of the executives or anything on their level, and they've worked on this game this whole entire time, endured all this abuse to make this game, and like you're gonna not play it. Like, it's kind of a weird like position for everybody involved. I think fans and the people who actually made the game. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to continue to wait around and see how this all plays out over the next couple of months. So, but yeah, Blizzard has a lot of image rehabilitation to do, without a doubt. So next news story, Ciaran, did you see the tweet that went around this the new Alex Hutchinson studio, Raccoon Logic?
Yes, I did, because this is the developer with all the white guys.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, so Alex Hutchinson, director of Assassin's Creed 3, and they did Journey to the Savage Planet, announced their new studio, which they started up because their old studio was bought by Google to be part of Stadia's launch, and then Google decided, no, we're not good at games, we'll delete everybody. So you have to make a new studio instead of just releasing them or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But they released an image, a picture of the team. And it's just all white guys. It's like, why? Why would you do that?
I don't think such an image could be released at such a poor time. Like, Blizzard has forever had the image of being just a bunch of white guys making games, and is now going through all this bullshit and all this, all these lawsuits have come out against them, and the facts and the stuff that's come out because of it. Then to release this, where it's like, shit, either you are, either they're, and I've seen some of the conversation where it's like, oh, well, maybe white guys have only the only ones that applied and stuff like that. Well, it's like it just shows that there's very little. There seems to be very little attempts to diversify in teams like this, where it's like to look for opportunities to bring in some diverse people into your organization. Because honestly, my personal opinion is diversity makes better games and makes better narratives and stories and things in general. Having different people from different walks of life that experience different things just makes games better. It makes everything better. And yeah, it's just a poor look.
Yeah, I think more than anything else, it's a poor look. If you're trying to announce something new, I'm sure as part of a press release, but just put like your company logo in it. You don't need to put a photo of 20 white dudes standing on a staircase. You know, apparently they do have one woman in a lead project position, but you know,
why isn't she in the picture then?
she was taking the photos. What other reason could there be? Why would you not put her in there? Like, you could have avoided so much terrible stuff. I've been saving that joke all week. You know,
terrible.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a bad look, but it's like, do we really want to go through every single game studio and say how many diverse people do you have in your company? It's like, yeah, and I'm sure to a certain degree, it's like, hey, we're a bunch of white dudes. Do you, person of color, want to join our team? It's like, no, they probably want to go somewhere that's already cultivated a culture of accepting people of color. A bit more of a safe bet, especially with news happening at the moment. So, you know, yeah, I feel like as much as fun as we're having of like trolling them and like pointing out how bad of an opportunity this is, you know, I think they deserve a little bit of benefit of the doubt. But yeah, why would you? I think you need to like maybe get some diverse people in your PR department. That's what I think.
Or even just somebody just to, you know, clearly nobody in that like department has looked at this photo and been like, this is a bad image. Like, this is a bad thing for us to put out right now. Which I think is even more worrying than the fact that them not having diversity in their team, because it's like, it means that they are almost ignorant to that fact. Or they don't see it to be an issue, or they don't see it to be a problem. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Not great, yeah. Alright, let's move on to something a little bit more happier. Halo Infinite looks like it's definitely going to be coming out in 2021. It's been reported that Halo Infinite has been rated by the Australian Classification Board, leaving many to believe the game is now good as locked in for the 2021 release. The rating, an M for those playing at home, was awarded for violence, online interactivity, and in-game purchases. It was published on August 10th. Interestingly, Forza Horizon 5, a game that's due for November 9th release, received its rating the week prior. That adds to a lot of credence to the romantic notion that Halo Infinite might ship November 15th, to coincide with the 20th anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved's launch on the original Xbox. Interestingly, they do have two classifications. They've got classification specifically for the campaign, which again, descriptors for science fiction themes and violence, online interactivity, and in-game purchases. And then the whole of Halo Infinite, which I'm assuming is most of the multiplayer stuff, is for violence, online interactivity, and in-game purchases. Ciaran, are you confident we're going to see Halo by the end of the year?
Yes, I think so. I think with the recent, at least the multiplayer, right? I think at least the multiplayer comes out. I think Xbox have a very good opportunity coming up for this part of the year to kind of put a stamp on what they've been working on. From my own personal opinion with things coming out, I think if Halo's good and is as good as other things that they're bringing out, I think Xbox is going to fucking steal the end of this year in terms of just wowing people with the quality of games that they can bring out. They have, I think they have made the decisions around Halo Infinite of how to deal with it. They've moved it back a whole year than what we believe, or what they definitely were planning to release it originally to coincide with the launch of the Xbox. But yeah, it is. I think it's definitely. I think I would put a decent amount of money. I'd go 80% positive that this game's coming out this year.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with that. I mean, it would be cool, like a story point, if it did come out November 15th. Like, what is that here in Australia? It's a Friday. No, that's October. That's a Monday, so probably unlikely. due to when games normally release. But yeah, I'm pretty confident Halo's going to come out this year. At least the multiplayer. Obviously, we know the most problems in the campaign. Like, we don't know whether when they went back to the drawing board, they like completely scrapped everything and like kind of how much reworking they've done. But if they just release the multiplayer and it's really great, I think people will be sated and like they'll be happy to wait.
And it's not even like, I think the thing is, even if they release the multiplayer is freaking free to play.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need Game Pass to play the multiplayer. Like, that is enough. That I would actually think it would be I would not fault them if they legitimately decided, hey, we're going to release the multiplayer before we release the campaign. And go, and just go, let people play that, let people enjoy the gunplay, let the people enjoy the mechanics, and use that to build up even more hype for the campaign. If you can prove that you have good gaming systems, that you have improved on Halo, and you have made it a next-generation experience, you then have given yourself a head start on publicity for the story mode. I would not put it past them releasing them separately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, nobody's buying Halo now because it's all on Game Pass, so it doesn't really make a difference when you release any of it. So
exactly. Game Pass is, get Game Pass, even if it's for like 3 months.
On the other end of the scale, obviously they've got an awesome opportunity to like steal as much thunder as they possibly can. But they've also, if they miss this, if they like strike out here,
the thing is, so it's not all resting on Halo.
I know, but like they are pretty much unchallenged from what we've seen so far on the roster.
Yeah, definitely. It is the juggernaut of this holiday period.
It's like the first time in years they've had like a golden opportunity to like steal PlayStation's lunch.
First year of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is the last time they really had this opportunity, and they fucking dropped the spaghetti everywhere that year. So, judging from other things, I think they have a very good shot at pulling this off this time. I'm very excited for Xbox right now, and I can't wait for it going forward to continue to see the development of their games.
Yeah. Okay.
You're such a fucking. Shit.
You got to keep up your answers. Next story. We got a trailer for Life is Strange. The Life is Strange prequel DLC. Life is Strange Wavelengths. So what Life is Strange Wavelengths is a prequel for the upcoming Life is Strange True Colors. It has a really cozy vibe. Wavelengths is a DLC addition to True Colors. It doesn't seem to touch at all on the main story of Gabby Chen. Instead, we're in the shoes of young Steph, a young DJ who's looking to make a mark in the world. Steph's story plays out over 4 seasons, and we get to find out about her and her life before we head into the main plot. I'll start off by saying weird that we're getting trailers for DLC before a game even comes out.
Well, I think this week was a lot of big news for Life is Strange because they
did announce the
DLC. They announced that this is definitely coming, but they also announced that they're delaying the remaster. Yes, but delaying it till early next year. But even if you buy the Ultimate Edition, of the True Colors, you still get the remaster and vice versa. I think this is super smart. I'm guessing Steph's storyline heavily ties into the actual main plotline of True.
I don't know if it does.
Colors.
That's the thing.
No, I think it does. No, I have a feeling that it will, just because of the young DJ-ness and everything, which I've seen. I think we've seen parts of that come out in the True Colors trailers and stuff like that, of being closely related to the music scene in this very small town. And I think it's just going to build up characters. I would be pretty I'd be pretty bullish on saying it is connected, just because we know she's going to be a character in it, but I don't know how much this story is going to like. I think it'll be something like when we play it, you won't understand until you finish True Colors.
Yeah,
Like, I almost think, but that's the interesting thing, right? Do you think they suggest to play this first, or do you play this after?
I think that we're meant to play it after. I think it's probably going to come out after.
Which is interesting, because I think it is... Well, you think it's going to come out after? Fair enough. I think... like, how well Life is Strange came out, and then they released Before the Storm, and how that kind of superseded into the game and changed up the game and changed around what it was, and kind of gave more context. I think this is going to be great.
Well, in that vein, would you play Before the Storm before you played Life is Strange? At this point,
I don't know.
If you were to recommend it,
I think Before the Storm. I think, you know how there is that, there's the recommended Star Wars thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you watch 4 and 5, and then you go back to the prequel trilogy as like a flashback of Darth Vader, and then you go to 6 and onwards. I think you do a similar thing with those two games, where you play like the first 4 episodes of Life is Strange, then before playing the 5th one, you play Before the Storm, and then you play the 5th one.
Interesting.
I think would be an interesting way to play that. Which is, you know what, now I've suggested it, I might go do that when the remaster comes out. As just something a bit interesting to do, because I think they do add a lot, generally, to the game. And I think it helps, it of course helps that, and kind of, Before the Storm operates on the fact that you have prior knowledge of Life is Strange before you jump into it. So, I guess if this is also designed to it, a minor point, as it says here in the Polygon article, play D&D. Fucking playing D&D in... I think it was Before the Storm where you played D&D. That shit was like the coolest parts of that game almost. Other than the overall story, I was so hyped about playing D&D, and the fact that it says that in this, I'm like, sold. It's gonna be...
Yeah. It looks really good. Like, this looks better than a DLC adventure should. It's like, I'm wondering how long it's gonna be. It's like... Because... What was it? How long was the extra episode of Before the Storm? That's the only thing I kind of have reference for.
Well, Before the Storm was 2 or 3 episodes.
I think it was 3, but then they had that bonus episode that you got through the deluxe edition that did Max's story from memory. Yeah, there were 3 episodes, and then there was a bonus episode called Farewell.
Yes, which was a retroactive one. Yeah, no, I think this will be shorter than that.
I don't know, because they say it's going to be like 4 seasons.
I could see it be 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Suitable. I will say, the soundtrack suggested even for this DLC fucking slaps. Well, Girl in Red, Alt J, Portugal the Man, Foles, Hayley Kiyoko, and Marabou State. That is a great... Did I just pronounce
I don't know.
Wrong?
I love the idea of this person being a radio DJ and like having terrible taste in music. It's like... Well,
yes, that would be...
It's like...
Look...
Nickelback.
It's
Spice Girls.
Gross. But no, it's a... The Life is Strange for me, even Life is Strange Season 2, there is such an importance on fucking music, for me personally. My friend gives me shit that I used to talk shit about the Gorillaz song on Melancholy Hill, that I didn't used to like it until I played Life is Strange Season 2. And now it's like one of my favourite songs. Just because of having context, that associated with it, and having that context in my head of it, and understanding that song a lot more, I think is... it's just... Yeah, I think music in general is so important to Life is Strange. I think Dylan and me have kind of gushed over the fact of it with Beyond the Strange. Like, it's so important. And even something that I go back to it, and I go back to those soundtracks in different moods. And it's introduced me to one of my favorite artists, Sufjan Stevens, because of the Captain... Is it Captain Incredible? I can't even remember that guy. No, it was Captain Spirit. Captain Spirit. Because of that game and how that evolved into Season 2 of Life is Strange. No, I'm super fucking excited for Life is Strange True Colors at the end of this month.
Yeah, it's less than a month away now.
You
get it all in one go as well. Remember?
Damn straight, which is great. Even though I absolutely loved how oh god, what was that other game that Xbox brought out last year? Tell Me Why. Thank you. I was so happy with Tell Me Why having like weekly releases because I thought it still captivated that kind of feeling of talking about it throughout the week with people who've also played it and talk about how it's going to proceed.
I mean, you can,
but at the same time,
you can like restrain yourself and do it that way.
No. More the fact that, you know what? If that was more of a normal thing,
people showing restraint, that would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be a weird thing. But at the same time, it would feel the need to binge because I love Life is Strange that much that I wouldn't want it to be spoiled.
That's true.
And I wouldn't want any chance of it being spoiled. And also, it's the worst feeling being in a conversation with people about something when you don't have all the information. When everybody else you're talking to have played all 5 episodes and you've only played 4 episodes, it makes it really annoying, not just for yourself, it makes it annoying for the other people because they're trying to like self-edit and if they're good people that understand that, they are self-editing and trying to avoid spoilers for you, which sometimes is just as bad as just saying the spoilers. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be... Look, it'll be nice with that we won't have to wait fucking like almost 6 months sometimes for an episode.
Yeah, you won't have to wait. That's for an undisclosed amount of time. Yeah.
Which I feel like then it would mean that we should be able to get Life is Strange almost more regularly.
Maybe.
Like, we should get Life is Strange more regularly just to the fact that they're not going to be spending, 12 months plus on one series.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Life is Strange is one of Square Enix's more recent success stories, so I'm sure they want to kind of double down on that franchise.
Yep, and I think,
catch up to Final Fantasy with a number of different...
Yes, and even with, like, Xbox purchasing Deck 9, I think, there's multiple avenues for these types of games now, and I'm really excited for them in general. I think they
didn't buy Deck 9, they bought...
is it the other one? Freaking...
Don't Nod, I'm pretty sure.
Don't Nod. Deck 9, Don't Nod, they both start with D, and they have like a second word in their name. Like
I don't think Xbox bought Don't Nod.
Didn't they? Aren't they publishing for Don't Nod?
They might be, but obviously they did Tell Me Why with Xbox, but they're still independent.
Because I thought they actually became... okay, fair enough. Well, maybe Xbox should, give them a check.
That's fine. They've got enough people.
Give them a blank check. No, it's fine. But no, I'm excited for Life is Strange. It definitely fills the void left by Telltale. Minor tangent on that one. I saw like a social media post like a little while ago, like maybe last week or the week before, from Telltale social media accounts trying to be like, "Hey, we're the same Telltale," and it was I could only shake my head at that one.
I mean, it's weird because people still think it is. Like,
it's
people who are unaware. It's like, what have you done lately? Nothing. Like, you're working on the Wolf Among Us 2, but other than that...
Still?
Nothing, really. So, it's weird,
This July 2004, Telltale Games formed around making great narrative experiences. We want to thank the original teams for the amazing stories as we hope to do continue justice. Going forward is the new Telltale. It's like they're wearing the old Telltale as a skin suit.
Yep.
They're wearing them as a skin suit.
Yep. Take that skin off. Let's finish up this week's episode with the big film and TV news that's touched the video game landscape. And it got announced by Idris Elba himself. He'll be playing Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Hot off his starring role in the Suicide Squad, Idris Elba has joined the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as the voice of Knuckles, Sonic's scrappy nemesis turned compatriot, Paramount announced on Tuesday. The actor confirmed the casting by posting a signature look at the character, or rather, the character's hand, including his signature, Spike Knuckles. Knuckles first appeared as an antagonist in the 1994 Sega video game Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Tricked by the evil Dr. Robotnik into thinking that Sonic is his enemy, he became a playable character in the follow-up game Sonic & Knuckles, released later the same year. Suffice to say, Knuckles ultimately realizes who the real bad guy is and switches sides. Ciaran, did you actually watch this? Did you ever get around to watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No, I did not. It is, one day, maybe now that Knuckles is involved as Idris Elba.
It's like I can't remember the discussion we had around Sonic, but it wasn't terrible from memory.
No, that's all I've heard is that we weren't terrible, and it was actually.
It was alright.
Did Dylan enjoy it?
I think it's enjoyable.
Enjoy it?
I think it was enjoyable. It's
how do you, as our kind of our film and TV buff here at the Explosion Network, how do you feel about Idris Elba voicing Knuckles? Because for me, it feels kind of weird.
How so?
Well, I just had to quickly look up who voiced Sonic because
yes,
it's a fairly famous actor. He's actually, I've seen him in other things, but if I listened to his voice, I wouldn't know who it was. Which I think is kind of good for these kinds of characters, to have a voice that is not recognizable.
I don't know. I feel like, obviously, Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, I mean, people would know him from Parks and Recreation, so if you're a big Parks fan, you would probably know.
But I feel like majority, the great majority of people are going to not be able to listen to his voice and be like, yeah. Whereas Idris Elba, I feel like you will be able to tell it's Idris Elba.
Probably, and they're probably fine with that. I think you're looking at this the wrong way. When you compare it, it's Idris Elba, but then it's also Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
We assume he's coming back, even though he was sent to an alternate universe in the end of the last film. Spoilers. But
fuck.
I don't know, yeah. Is Knuckles going to be a bad guy in this film? That's an interesting question.
I hope so. My guess, based on that, would be that Eggman or Dr. Robotnik is going to land in the alternate universe, is going to find Knuckles, or he's going to run straight into Knuckles, but he's going to alter his mind or something, or take control of Knuckles somehow. And because I feel like they're playing it up that Knuckles and Sonic have got a past and everything, and they've already been friends. So I think, they're going to tweak it a little bit, but continue doing the same storyline for Knuckles being a bad guy, dude. Person.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest thing to do. Set it up. Obviously, they both run really fast, and that would be the best way to, if you've got a fast character, you need to have another fast character that's a different color coming straight at you. The entire thing, as proven by 6 or 7 seasons of The Flash. But yeah, okay. I think it's interesting casting. I guess we won't know until we see. Hopefully, they nail the look first time. That's what we're all gonna hope.
Hopefully, they learn a lesson for Sonic.
As much as I would love to have Knuckles with human teeth, I don't think people would be very happy with that. The other interesting thing is, obviously, again, another slight spoiler, but at the end of Sonic, they teased that Tails was going to show up. But there's no announcement for a Tails voice actor. It's
maybe because it's not Idris Elba voicing Tails.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a smaller. It's I
think it'll be. I think I would honestly see them getting a female voice actor to act for Tails, possibly.
You think a gender swap? Even though gender's
I don't know.
Weird.
I don't think.
Or is it just best someone
high
pitch voice? That's all.
I just think they have a high pitched voice. I could just see them, and I think we should, once again, best people should get the role despite
everything,
gender or anything. For as we as one of the easiest for voice acting is always Bart Simpson's voice actor is a woman and has been for a very long time, and I think
the entire run.
Yeah, I think
all 60, 70 years.
Run, so yeah, exactly. That's how long Simpsons has been going for. But I think, yeah, I don't think Tails will get announced as a voice actor, so to speak, in this one. This is just fucking somebody there's like, hey, we just got fucking Idris motherfucking Elba as a voice actor for fucking Knuckles. Get it that shit on a poster and fucking get it out there now.
Yeah.
Like, it is just...
He just...
like,
I think,
just
yeah.
hype
He just signed the contract. He had a big movie come out this week. Strike while the iron's hot.
There's no... Yeah, there's no fucking... We haven't even gotten to record anything yet. But we wanted this information out there so people can be hyped about it, you know?
Yeah.
Next, we're going to get to a complete left turn, and Shadow the Hedgehog's going to be out, and it's going to be voiced by the...
We'll say, principal shooting for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 began in Vancouver, March 15th, included on May 12th, and they also did some filming in Hawaii. They finished June 25th. So...
Okay, so maybe it's not that fresh, but at the same time...
No, that he might have only just recorded the lines. I'm sure they'd had a fill-in voice actor, potentially. But yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, coming April 8th, 2022. So not long far to wait before we hopefully hear Knuckles say, I'm Red Superman. Get it? It's like when he said, I'm Black Superman.
Look, Ash, I got it. I got it. I was just, I was trying to just muster some sense of...
You don't want to encourage me?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't want to encourage.
Listen,
that was just...
head over to explosionhour.com/Twitter to let us know what lines you want to hear Idris Elba deliver as Knuckles from his career. You know? What other things do you want him to say as Knuckles? That would have
I just wanted to close out with Knuckles doing a rap. Because Idris Elba's rap is actually really fucking good.
Yeah, Knuckles and Sonic rapping over the closing credits. That would be very on brand, I think, for
I think it's suitable.
Or you can jump to our Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, or tell people about Arcade Couch, particularly one Mr. Viva La Dill, who needs to be reminded when these episodes drop. He's very forgetful. And, if you like this episode, why? And thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support and buy us a coffee. Every little bit helps keep the lights on here at the Explosion Network and stop Dylan from firing us. Thank you very much for listening, and see you here next week, same time, same couch. Bye!
Bye!